Okay, I think Dave said let's go ahead and start with the jock. Yep, I can start. We're going to go ahead and start with the jock, guys. So can you open this up? Yeah. Hello, 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 hello. Guys, my mic. We're going to start with the jock here. Can you guys hear me? Wayne Lucas is coming in. We got to. Can you hear it?
Yeah, for sure. I remember.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You guys. Hi. Okay. Okay. Okay, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started, so if everybody can just get settled for just a moment. Okay, everybody, we'll go ahead and get started. First question, please direct the questions to me and who you want it directed to, and I will relay it. So I'll open the floor. Who would like to ask the first question? Yes.
People ask that all the time, and the last one is always the sweetest. The last girl you dance with is the one you take home. But the thing about it is that every time we've been lucky to win one of these, that it's been with a different client. And so that is what makes it special. That's what makes this one special. 2,000 people or plus. The one before that was a different client, different client. That's what I get paid for, to let them live the dream.
This is for Wayne Lucas, so I'm just going to repeat so everybody can hear. Yep.
Have you ever had a winner's circle with that many clients shouting and chanting all at once?
Boy, I'll tell you what. Now that I didn't think we'd get up there. That really, they really turned them loose. I've been in some cattle drives that were more organized than that. It was really chaotic, but it looking around and everybody hugging. One of the things that was very significant to me today, and maybe it's because I'm getting a little bit older, but as I came out of the grandstand and out across the racetrack, every one of the guys that were in that race stopped and hugged me and gave me a handshake. That meant more to me than any single thing. Baffert, Kenny, McPeak, right down the line. This is probably Bill Gates, so maybe I should take it.
Okay, next question. Next question? Anybody? Yep. Okay, who's this directed to?
How about this? You think I'm not 88 years old?
He's got a flip phone. Okay, for Jockey Jaime Torres.
Congratulations to the entire team. Amazing victory. Your parents are here. I saw you hugging them. What does this mean to you and to your family?
For us, it means a lot. We have no words to describe it. We are just blessed by God, and we are help. Like, we are help for a lot of people, and thank you, Wayne. Thank.
Y para lo del español, si puedes hacerlo en español, fanaticada en Puerto Rico.
Estamos bien agradecidos. No podemos describir la sensación que sentimos, y como dije, estamos bendecidos por Papá Dios y ayudados por muchas personas que tienen buen corazón como Wayne y My Racers.
Thank you.
What does this mean for your business, My Racers?
This is for
I mean,
for Mike Barrow.
This means everything for our business. I mean, what we tried to do 4 years ago is to allow anybody to experience the thrill of winning the biggest races, and we just had 2,570 people experience one of the greatest thrills in racing. You saw the energy out there. There was so much excitement, there were tears and energy. My voice is almost gone. I think half the 2,500 people's voice is gone, and to done this with such an incredible team, it's unbelievable. And I think that just Horse racing is an amazing sport. Ownership is such a great thrill. And for this to unlock that, let people know that it's possible for anybody to participate, have this kind of moment, I think it's going to be big for the business, it's big for racing, and I'm super excited to be a part of it.
How many of those people were here today?
We had, I don't know exactly how many showed up, but we had 512 enter to win the owner's privileges. So the way the My Racehorse system works is that whatever we get by the track, and First was unbelievably generous in hooking us up with some great perks. We lottery them off on the app for a lucky owner, and we had 512 people that entered that plus their guests. So there could have been anywhere between 500 and 1,000 people that were out here today.
I actually have some stats on the My Racehorse shares. So $127 a share was for Seize the Gray here. 5,000 shares were offered, and that sold out within a matter of weeks. There are 2,570 owners of Seize the Gray who are now Preakness winning owners between 42 states and 48 owners from the state of Maryland. That's a lot of people to please, Wayne.
That's the beautiful part of it. You know, it's just, that's what we get paid to do. And it is really, really special. It's also special that I was able to tap into this young man here, and he's responded absolutely beautiful. He rode a few horses for me at Churchill, and rode a few just general horses, nothing real special. And I thought he had a lot of talent, and I loved working with him, but I really feel good about taking him to this level. A couple of weeks, I'm going to tell on you. A couple of weeks ago, he rode one Not So Pretty. And I followed him all the way through the tunnel, all the way up the steps to the jock's room, and I chewed him out. I said, you'd be back Puerto Rico picking oranges if you're going to ride like that. And I know that when he turned for home, that was echoing in his ears, that he'd better get down and scrub him, because I think it really hit home.
We've got a question for him upstairs. One second. Can I get the question, guys? This is 2 questions for Wayne.
Must be doing a book.
Okay, here we go. That was a bit of a novel, but we got it. You're known as the coach. The question is for Wayne here. What kind of coaching tactics, when you say you coached Jaime Torres into this race and this win, what was the advice you gave him?
The question is, what do I do as I'm coaching him?
Yeah.
Well, I don't get into the mechanics of riding so much as I get into that I want them to dedicate themselves beyond. I want him to be better than he thinks he can be. I always push that to him. I say, I'm going to push you. I want you to do more than you actually think you can do, and I want you to be better than you think you can be. I want you to really, really dedicate yourself. If you don't do that, get a job bagging groceries at the grocery store, because this is a tough business and very competitive. And I have to represent a number of owners. So when I put him on, I'm making a commitment that he's okay. Now, I didn't ask Mike, I didn't ask the 2,700 people whether we should ride him, but he rode him so well. He rode him once before and won on him. And then again, in the Pat Day Mile was the second win on him, and this was now the third. He obviously fits the horse.
Will you talk about the strategy for Wayne to go to the lead? Or was that the strategy?
We didn't have any strategy per se. I think you can overcoach a little bit on these riders. I didn't want to, especially Jamie. If I'd have told him, I wanted you to lay third or fourth or back mid-pack or something, as bad as I should have asked the first time, I think he'd have probably tried to do that. And here all of a sudden he breaks and he's on the lead cruising. But when he got on that lead cruising, what happens as a trainer, you study these horses in the morning and you get a feel for their motion and how they're getting over the ground. And when you watch those races, it gets analytical for you. You start thinking, is he handling it pretty well? Is he getting over the ground like he normally does, or is he struggling? When he hit the half-mile pole, I turned to my wife, Lori, and I said, watch out, we're home free. I didn't think he'd, after having that Pat Day Mile under his belt, I didn't think he'd back up at one iota.
We had a question back here.
Just Wayne,
This is for Wayne.
I don't need to tell you, probably not a ton more opportunities to race on this track. I've seen you throughout the years, personally supervise the workouts, come here early. You came here early this week, you watch all the workouts in the morning. Is there something about that process that you savor, after coming here so many years?
You talking about me personally?
Yeah.
That's what gets me up in the morning. I just told the ESPN reporter, I said, boy, we got outstanding 2-year-olds. We are loaded next year. And I'm already looking forward to them. I can't wait to get home and start breezing them. Watch out for us at Saratoga. We're going to be awful tough. But that's what it's all about, getting up. And if you have a passion, you eliminate all the excuses. That's how it works. You get up early, you go without a meal, you drive, you go without sleep. As long as you got the passion, you don't let that sofa pull you down. It's a little easy when that alarm goes off to say, oh my God, I don't know if I really want to do this today. Erase that. The most important decision you'll ever make in your life is your attitude decision. Make it early and make the right one.
We have a question.
This is a pep talk. I didn't mean we were going to the locker room.
Okay, in the back. This is for Jaime Torres.
This is your first grade 1 win. With the same horse that gave you the first grade stake win. Since the grade a couple of weeks ago. How does this feel for you? And can you tell us a little bit about what the coach mentioned? The break that did the horse actually break out the way that he just wanted to take the lead?
Well, can you guys imagine when you are watching a movie and you have this horse like it's the main character in the movie, and like you see that the last race and he wins, like you feel that emotion, but just think like it's real. Like I cannot explain it. This horse means a lot for me. It means a lot. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. It means a lot. It does.
Okay, we got a question right
I
here.
had phone calls from about six agents that after he won the Pat Day Mile, it's a tough business because they said, well, you're not gonna, you got to change riders for the big one, aren't you? I said, not a chance. He's staying right there.
Question right here.
Tony was going to ask,
This is for Wayne.
as you're watching them go down the backstretch where they're chasing rather than pressing up.
Well, I saw that his action was perfect. I was concerned this morning about the weather, like so many. Actually, Mystic Dan ran such a sensational race in the mud at Arkansas that I told Baffert, I said, we're going to have hell beating him today. With this track, it fits him to a T, and we're going to have trouble with him because of that. I thought he got the gods of racing were helping him. But when we were cruising down the backside, I felt his motion and everything, and I knew he was dead fit after coming off of the Pat Day Mile. I love that prep. I actually gave Just Steel a mile work before the Kentucky Derby also. But once you feel like they're getting over the ground, I didn't think there was any chance that he was going to. I knew they were going to run at us, but I thought we had a great chance to dictate the race from the half-mile home.
How about thoughts on the Belmont?
The way when you win, you right away turn the page and say, where's the next one? But I want to look at him a little bit. I have had such good luck with Arrogates. I had Secret Oath in the Oaks 2 years ago now, and I'm beginning to feel like Seize the Gray can probably run 1.5 miles. And this year it's 1.25 miles. So I think if they're going to beat him, they maybe should extend it back out a little bit because if we go, we'll be tough. He'll get 1.25 miles. He'd have got 1.25 miles today.
We've got.
And you never know how many are going to go on, and the fresh ones. Chad Brown sitting there, probably Todd Pletcher. It's going to be a whole different field. So we'll analyze everything, and if I can get Mike's permission to have all the votes. I thought I turned this off.
We've got a question from upstairs.
I
Go
tell
ahead.
Bill Gates not to call me during the press conference.
So this is for Jaime Torres. Jaime, whenever you first started, did you ever imagine, just coming from Puerto Rico and going to the jockey school, that this is where you would be now, winning the Preakness so young in your riding career?
I would say like when I was in college, and like my parents, like they raised me very good, and they wanted me to have a like graduate from the college, and you know, if something happened, have something where I can like hold on myself. And when I quit, I really think like, if I'm gonna quit, I gotta make it. And I haven't rest by then. I have been working very hard, and not thinking like it was gonna happen, but working for it. And you can think like, oh, that is gonna happen. You just gotta work, and it will come.
All right, we've got one more question from upstairs.
Jamie, do you know that I lived, and one of my closest friends is the greatest Puerto Rico riding ever, Angel Cordero. Angel and I lived together out at Santa Anita, and if you can just follow in his footsteps with his desire and so forth, you're going to be just fine.
If there is someone that is very dedicated to racing, that's Junior Cordero.
Yep.
He's still on his home watching every single race, sitting with me. Me sitting with him beside, and he watching and saying like, "Hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that." And there is a lot of people. Pichi Garcia, he knows.
I think we have a question right here.
Mr. Lucas, I know you said you were a great conference year-olds. I know you're not looking past Belmont or even next year's Derby, but what would it mean to win next year's Preakness? 150, particularly the last Preakness in Puerto Rico.
Well, the good news is I guess it's not going to be the last one. I talked to the governor briefly on the stand up there, and I think, I don't know the details, but this has been a special place for not only me, but a lot of trainers and people. We enjoy coming here. The hospitality second to none. They know they got a facility that it's not probably as perfect, and they really go all out to make sure that everybody is taken care of, and it's a great spot. And there's something about the Preakness that it comes, the intensity and the attention and everything between the trainers and everything drops down a little bit. And by putting us all in the same barn, sharing the same locker room and everything, the camaraderie comes together a lot more with the other trainers and everything. So this place becomes special. And I can speak, I think, for Bob Baffert. I'm only one behind him. I warned him already. This place has been a lot of fun for all of us. Really has.
We've got one more question from upstairs. Go ahead with that, guys. This is for Wayne. It's been 11 years since your last Oxbow winner. Was there ever any point between the 11 years and now that you thought maybe this wouldn't happen again for you, the Preakness win?
Again, I say this, you're only as good as your clientele. If the clientele will back you, give you a chance to get in that yearling market, and that's where we've always built our stable, in the yearling market, and give us a chance to purchase the horses we like. There's no reason why we shouldn't be here. Now, what happened to me in that 11-year span, I lost Bill Young of Overbrook, I lost Gene Klein of the San Diego Chargers, I lost Bob Lewis, and you can't replace those kind of people. But now, along came a few of my Texas buddies and cattlemen and John Bellinger and Brian Coelho, and they've stepped up. And they were here today. They own Just Steel. But they were 100% behind this win today, I could tell. But they're going to be back. They'll be all right.
We'll be back too. We'll definitely be back too.
All right. He's got one already. They sent me the other day, right?
That's right.
Has that arrived yet?
Not yet. We'll get it to you soon.
Yeah, don't keep it too long. You guys can screw up an iron ball.
Do we have any more questions on the floor here? Yes.
Yeah.
2020, it was so close with a venture. How it feels for you and all the partners, this victory, and what's next for my race?
Yeah, you're right. So we were here in 2020. I remember sitting up in the grandstands, and when Authentic came on the outside of Swiss Skydiver, and I thought for sure we were going by, right? It just felt like we were going by, and Kenny and Robbie had their horse ready to go, and we couldn't pass him, and it hurt. So it kind of felt good to come back a little bit 4 years later, and we beat Kenny, and Robbie was on the morning, so little sweet revenge. But it was great to come off that Derby win and come into the Preakness and be so close. But when this all came about, and I talked to Mr. Lucas, and he said, I mean, this horse is ready. We need to go. Just to be able to kind of turn the tables and maybe get that win. And when Jamie was bringing him home the way he was bringing him home, and I was like, I just couldn't believe it. He just kept going, and they weren't catching him. So I had a little bit of that fear in the stretch run, and I couldn't quite pull it off. But Jamie did a great job. Mr. Lucas had him ready to go, and we got the win. Thank you.
We would have run in the Derby if we'd have had the points. I think I can say that because it would give that many people a chance to have a Derby entry. But if we'd have entered, we can't double enter in Kentucky, so if we'd have entered the Derby and ended up 21st, which we wouldn't have been able to run in the Pat Day Mile. So Mike and I had to make a decision to skip the Derby, go to the Pat Day Mile, or we wouldn't have run anywhere. We'd have just had to sit the whole Saturday out. And I believe firmly in my heart that the Pat Day Mile won that put us in position to win this today.
We've got one more question from upstairs. This is for Jaime. Can you just take us through the trip from the break? The horse broke well. Were you intent on getting the lead, or what was the game plan there for you?
I was gonna do whatever imagination was gonna do. I knew he was gonna go to the lead, and I think we looked each other, and he said, "Well, you go," and I went. So I took the lead, and I mean, he's such an amazing horse. He just relaxed for me, and he felt the other horses coming close, and he was just looking at them. And as soon as I asked, I had a lot of horse. That was like from the quarter to the wire. I mean, he gave me everything.
Do you have any other questions? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
That's what it's all about, right there.
Your son is a talented jockey, and he's a great young man. We're happy to have him. We're lucky.
Thank you.
Anybody else? No? All right. Thank you guys so much for all your questions. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Mike.
Can I
Thank
say
you, Jaime.
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say happy birthday to my agent.
Okay, wants to say happy birthday to his agent, Jaime. Happy birthday, Jaime's agent.
Now I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted.
Oh, yeah.